course, another very important part of getting kids ready for the school year is making sure they have the proper brain food. The nonprofit Gleaners is working to help families do just that with their annual school food mobile. Joining us are two members of the Gleaners team, Kristin Sokul, Senior Director of Advancement, and Dr. Julie Bedford, Senior Director for School Partnerships. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So let's just start talking about this program, the food mobile. What is it all about?
Dr. J, you want to take that?
I'll take that one. So we have about 34, 35 school food mobiles in our area. They are run by school personnel. We provide the food and the support, and they feed anywhere from 50 to 200 families, and they occur every month year-round. And each family of 4 receives about 45 pounds of food.
Wow.
And that includes, yeah, it's a lot. And if there's more than 4 in the family, you get double that.
Yeah.
So it's fresh produce, there's also some sort of meat or poultry, there's milk and canned goods, so a wide variety of foods. So we're trying to provide these foods for families because we know that it's a struggle and it's a trade-off. And if we can provide this, they don't have to go buy groceries, and perhaps they can pay their bills, or they can buy new clothes for their children, because we know this time of the year is super expensive for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, that can be life-changing for these families.
Absolutely.
How important is it, would you say, for the families and the students especially to have access to nutritious food going into the school year?
Well, we know that kids do better, obviously, when they have full tummies, when they don't have to worry about what am I going to have for lunch? Did I have breakfast? Am I going to have something when I go home? Yeah. So that they can go to school more days of the year, pay better attention, retain more of what they learn. And when we make sure that kids are taken care of in families, it also takes worries away from parents who, as Dr. J mentioned, can now reallocate some of that funding, some of the other priorities that they really need, while knowing that they've been supplemented with really nutritionally valuable things like milk, which is really important to our families, like that fresh produce that's hard to get and you need more often. And so if we can take that one worry off the table for them, especially as the school year is starting, that's really a place we want to be.
What's the reaction from the families when you're handing them 45 pounds of food?
I can tell you, because I'm out at a lot of our school food mobiles, the same families come again and again and again, and they are so thoughtful and they are so thankful, and all I get is bless you, thank you, thank you. And you know, they tell you the stories, they tell you where they're coming from, and it's heartfelt. And we know that we're making a difference for those families, and which is why we're there, and that's why the school personnel is there to help support it. And they know these families, and we know that this impacts children not only emotionally but academically. Yeah. And so I think that's why it's easy for us to get these school personnel to volunteer their time. I mean, they're volunteering their time to help us run these mobiles, and they do it because they know it has an impact.
So that much food for that many people, this is a massive undertaking. I imagine you could use some help.
Oh, yeah.
And tell me about how people can pitch in.
Well, and it's not just the volunteers at the school food mobiles, it's volunteers that we need at our own facilities. Because it's only through volunteers that we're able to pack all of those boxes and bags that we take not only to the school food mobiles, but to our community mobiles that operate 5 days a week without an appointment that families can go to. Sure. And so last year we had more than 50,000 hours of volunteer shifts, and the unfortunate circumstance is that we need more volunteers currently. We just don't have enough. So if anyone watching has a little bit of time in their heart, going to gcfb.org, you can find all of our volunteer shifts and allocate a little of your time.
Okay, and it sounds like you're hoping to expand this program in the future because there's such a need for it.
But to do that, it takes dollars, right? It takes support. And so our school food mobiles are funded through not only Gleaners, and all our money comes from our fundraising efforts that we do. And through grants and so forth. So, as the money allows us, we can expand.
Well, and the great news about that is that if you have $1 in your pocket, you can still make a big difference. Because with Gleaners purchasing power and all of the donated food we get, for every $1 we receive, we can turn that into 3 meals for our community. And right now, and leading into the school year, we'll have match partners, so you can have an even bigger difference for that $1 in your pocket, where that $1 will become 6 meals for families. So I always talk about whether you have $1 in your pocket or time in your heart, there really is a way for you to make a big difference difference for making our neighborhoods stronger by taking hunger out of the equation.
You guys are making a big difference. So great to see the work you're doing. Thank you so much for coming by. And one more time, that website where people can go.
It's gcfb.org.
All right, Kristin and Julie, thank you so much for joining
Thank you.
us. We appreciate what you're doing.